Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the different edit modes. We've already spoken about the shortcuts to get to the different edit tools. Now we want to talk about the edit modes. So these are the modes that help you move the audio around, how flexible it is and for what reasons. Whereas once you've moved it, these are the tools that help you trim it or cut it. So this first one is shuffle mode. To get to shuffle mode, it is option 1. Now, shuffle mode is a very tricky one because what that does is if we're going to cut some audio, let's just say I want to select that area. As you can see at the moment, I'm in the Smart tool. Remember, that's Command 7 so that I can do a whole lot of things at once. If I delete that when I'm in shuffle mode, instead of just leaving a gap here, all of this audio to the right of it will slam right up to where it broke there. So if I go delete now, do you see that? See how all that moved up? Didn't leave a gap. I'm going to undo that. For those of you know, Command Z is the undo button, just like in anything. So that's shuffle mode. It's very careful. You've got to be careful what you use that for, but it can be useful to move things if you want things to shuffle up straight away. If I was in slip mode, which is this one here, I would go option 2. Now what slip mode does is means that I can basically move my selector tool anywhere at all on the timeline. Can you see you've got these grids behind here, these little grids, but my selector tool is not restricted anywhere. I can select it. It also means I can move the audio absolutely anywhere within the timeline. It's also not restricted by these grids. You can move it absolutely everywhere. So that's slip mode, which is option 2. The next mode is option 3, is spot mode. We won't be dealing with this at all, but just so you know, that's where spot mode is. But it is good for doing sound for film and things like that. But we'll come back to that another day. You don't need to know that in this video. The one that you'll primarily use is the next one, grid mode, which is option 4. And grid mode means that now this audio will lock into these grids. See, if I'm moving it along, I can only move it along by the grid amounts. So that's option 4. I can't do anything else with it. Same with my selector tool. I can only select on the grids. Can you see I'm trying to select in between? Now the reason that's doing that is because if we zoom out here, you can see there's a bar there. There's a grid there. That's why that was doing that. See, if I try to click there, it won't let me click there. It lets me click there. So that's why that was doing it. It's just sort of zoomed out so it looked like it was not doing that. Cool. And then there's relative grid. So if you hit option 4 again, it goes to this relative grid. We'll explain relative grid a little bit more in another one. This is more just for shortcuts. So the shortcuts for the 4 different edit modes again. Option 1 gets you into shuffle mode. Option 2 gets you into slip mode. Option 3 gets you into spot mode. Option 4 gets you into either relative grid or if option 4 again, grid mode. Grid and grid mode, option 4 and option 2 slip are probably the 2 that you'll use and toggle between a lot when you're working. So that's the shortcuts for the edit modes.